Hey guys, welcome back to Isabella's Quick Recipes. Look at all these beautiful fruits. I'm going to show you today how to make a winter fruit pie, also known as a Scarlett pie, and this pie is going to taste a million times better than if you were to go buy it at a store. And surprisingly, it's really quick and easy to prepare, so let's get started. Alright, the annoying part about making pie is probably peeling and chopping all the fruit. Do you guys agree? But if you have one of those box cutters, you will have it done in no time. I got that one from Costco and it was one of the best things I have ever bought in my life. Now we're gonna cook these apples because if we were just to put them into the pie shell, they're gonna release a lot of water as well as the pears. They just have so much water in them. So if we cook them, everything is gonna become so concentrated and delicious. It's gonna make your pie just explode full of flavor. Here I have some cranberries. I'm just gonna add like a half a cup. And I like frozen cranberries because they release so much juices. You can use fresh also. But these ones I'm gonna be using in next week's video, my sugar plum fairy cookies. So be sure to stay tuned for that. I'm going to be adding some orange zest as well as a little bit of its juice. Well, this is actually a tangerine. This pie is going to have some dried figs. You're going to just want to make sure to take the stems out because they're really hard. And you can also like cut the figs in half so that they're not so big. Brown sugar, regular sugar, nutmeg, salt, a heaping tablespoon of cinnamon, 2 tablespoons of cornstarch, 4 tablespoons of butter, and last but not least, 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. Give everything a good mix, and this is going to cook for about 10 to 15 minutes until the apples become soft when you poke them with a fork, because after you put this in the pie, they're not going to get any softer once they're baking in the oven. So be sure to cook them to your liking, and you could cover it. Just be sure to stir it every few minutes so that it doesn't burn on the bottom. Also, the pears, they were a little hard, so that's why I added them. But if you have really soft pears, be sure to add them towards the end so they don't just disintegrate into the mixture. Okay, time to cool down the filling. While your pie filling is cooling off in the freezer, you could go ahead and start your pie dough. Here I have 2.5 cups of flour. I'm gonna add some salt and sugar. Mix it up, and you're gonna add a cup of butter. This is super cold butter. You're gonna just break it up with your hands. You could cut this up in cubes if you like. And what I usually like to do in making pastry dough is I kind of just grab it and slide it in between my hands so that I have like these thin sheets of butter, so that when it melts, it just has like a million layers. To this pie dough, once you have all this wonderful, you could almost see the layers, like it looks like it has little paper sheets in here. So that's perfect, that's exactly what you want. I'm gonna take some buttermilk. This is a buttermilk pie crust. I had this left over from last week's video. Check it out if you want to see what it was. I'm gonna start off with half a cup of buttermilk. And we may need to add more, but we're just gonna start off with this. Okay, yeah, see how there's a lot of flour left? We're gonna have to add a little bit more buttermilk. So I would say add about 2/3 buttermilk. So add between 1/2 to 2/3. The thing is, do not add too much liquid, because if your dough has too much liquid, it's just gonna completely melt once it bakes. It's not gonna be nice and light and crispy. It's just gonna be really soggy and a mess. So once you have it pretty wet, If you don't have a silicone baking mat, just put like 2 sheets of parchment paper. Take like a spatula. I just pulled this off of my spatula and I just kind of flip it over and press it down. Flip it over and press it down. It seems like it wouldn't come together, but it does. That's what I think makes this so tricky for people. But the taste is so much better. If you want to go out and buy a pie crust, go get a good quality one. Don't buy like Pillsbury. That one is so nasty. It's like you're going through all this effort and then just to buy like a cheap pie crust. All right, now that it came together, we're gonna take our rolling pin, and you could, if you're gonna use this the next day, go ahead and wrap it up and put it in the fridge. But I'm just gonna go ahead and roll it out right now because we're gonna chill it once it's in the pie shell. Roll it and turn. Roll it and turn. This looks about right. It's a 1/4 inch thick. Compare it to the edge and make sure that it goes out 2 inches past it. And then you're gonna roll this up. Use your rolling pin to handle this huge circle. Okay, what you're gonna do with all these ruffly corners is fold them over so that it makes a nice clean edge. You don't have to worry about cutting it or anything like that. There we go, just as so. And then you could choose whichever design you want. A lot of people just take their 2 fingers and make like the zigzag. There we go. Voila. We're gonna stick this into the freezer while the apple pie filling is still cooling down. That way this thing gets nice and just block frozen. In the same bowl as your pie crust flour, we're gonna add 1.5 sticks of butter. This is the crumble topping. It's really simple. 1.5 cups of flour, 1/3 cup of sugar and brown sugar, 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Okay, these are some chopped walnuts. Make sure some are really big too. All right guys, who's excited? Time for assembly. Everything is cold. This thing completely cooled off. All right, this filled all the way to the top. This was 4 pounds of fruit altogether. So if you want it a little bit taller, go with 5 pounds. I wanted to leave a little bit of space for all this beautiful crumble. I'm gonna add all the crumble on top. All right, you're gonna bake this for around 45 to 50 minutes. We're gonna have to check it halfway through and make sure the crust doesn't get too dark. Wow, look at that guys. The pie is ready. I had to cover it halfway with foil, and you could tell by the bottom it's like a little golden brown. This pie baked for about an hour. See how easy that was, guys? If I could do it, you can do it. This was one of the easiest pies, and look at how wonderful it looks just by the texture. Look at the filling, pieces of fig, apple. Let's look at the bottom. Oh yeah, see how the bottom stays crispy. Now the only thing that I did wrong here was cutting it while it's piping hot. You gotta let this thing set, and it is just gonna make the most beautiful slices. You can see all the different layers of the different fruits, and everybody is gonna go crazy. So let's go ahead and give it a try. Wow. Let me show you guys something real fast. Do you see all the layers in that crust? I'm telling you, when you use the fold method when flipping the dough to combine it, it just is gonna give you the most wonderful results. Cheers and happy Thanksgiving. I hope everybody had a good Thanksgiving. Oh my God. This is one of the best pies I have ever had in my life. Wow, I've never had anything like this. The crispiness of the crust. This pie is like tart and sweet. It is unbelievable. The little seeds of the fig adds a wonderful texture. All the fruit is like perfectly tender. It's not hard, but it's not too soft and mushy. And the crispy and crumble topping, the crunchy nuts. Wow. Now, if you guys enjoyed this recipe, be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Leave your comments down below if you try it out. And as usual, stay tuned for more quick and easy recipes, all of them always with a unique twist.